Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video, we're going through Pindar. So it's a wind type Esper. We can use Wish Stone to actually get for him. So we don't have to go through like the paywall, through the passes, and also the keepsake system, all this thing. No, it's totally Wish Stone Esper. You can get it through Wish Stone, which is very good. And good news, he's actually very strong. I would say he's actually as strong as a keepsake Esper, paid Esper, or a shimmer Esper. Very strong. So this video here, I'll be going through his skill kit. I'll let you know how it works, and then I'll be showing some showcases like in terms of interaction, but not going too deep. I'll make that in a different video. But this video here, we're going through everything you need to know about Pindar. Alright, now let's take a look at his 3D model. Okay, so overall it's very similar to the art itself, the visual art. So I would think it's actually a very good one. So the model itself, in my test server test setting, I make it low, so it's not like the final quality, but overall this is how it looks like. Alright, so HP leader buff, universal, but you don't really need this, to be honest, because you're not going to put him at the captain slot, because you want him to be your teammate instead of your captain. Then let's take a look at the Rival Rune. Rival Rune is a speed set with Artiar, 270 speed, very high max HP because he's a max HP skill Esper. Okay, now let's take a look at the S1. S1 does damage based on 4% of his max HP damage, and then increase the leftmost teammate AP by 20%. So this AP push here, there's no other condition. As long as you cast S1, then as long as you are the leftmost teammate, then you get AP push by 20%. So it's not like Yujing. The Yujing one, you're gonna apply like the warm welcome in order to let you trigger the AP push. Okay, so Yujing and the Esper get AP push by 30%, but with warm welcome. But this condition for Pindar, Pindar, there's no condition. So as long as she casts S1, then that Esper, the leftmost Esper, will get AP push by 20%. Then passive. So when he is not the leftmost position at the start of the combat, increase all your ally HP by 10%. If you max up, it's 30% HP increase. Basically just put in there, your whole team have 130% HP instantly. And then he will share 50% of the ability damage taken by the leftmost teammate. You can think him as a Jiangjiuli or as a Zihe, but specifically protecting the leftmost position. So 50% is actually very high. So if we look at Jiangjiuli's damage share, is actually only 15% damage share for all your ally, and then the other one is going to be Zihe. Zihe here, it will share 70%, but this 70% here, it is only counter attack and assist attack, so it's not including all damage. But if you go for Zihe R4, it's gonna be damage sharing for 90%. So if we come back to Pindar here, he's 50%, which is lower than Zihe, which is fine, but it's any kind of damage that your captain leader slot is taking, he will share 50% of it. So you don't have to afraid only counter attack can block, or only active turn can block. Any kind of damage it will share. Then the next one is S3. S3 is where his hit come from. He will grant harmonic control, attack up, defense up, and immunity to the leftmost teammate for 2 turns. This itself is very strong. The harmonic control itself is very strong, and it also applies attack up, defense up, and immunity to the leftmost teammate, and then instantly give that teammate 1 extra turn. So it's going to focus everything for your leftmost teammate, which is your captain slot. And then you can reduce the cooldown up to 4 turns to make it to 3 turns, which is a pretty low cooldown in my opinion, but you need to max skill his S3. Then the passive here, right, there's another thing is, after the Esper or the leftmost teammate take an action, then it will grants 1 stack of cadence. The cadence is a counter stack for him to keep track. So at max stack of cadence, reduce the max cooldown of frenzy symptom. It's not reduce cooldown, it's reduce the max cooldown. So if you skill up this thing, it will reduce to 3 turns. And then if you have max cadence, now your S3 here have only 2 turns. So you can keep casting harmonic control, and also buff to your leftmost Esper. Okay, so what is harmonic control? Harmonic control is the thing what makes Pindar so strong. So grants different effect based on the Esper role. If you're a fighter, each hit from the second onwards deals additional true damage. So if you're a multi-hitter, you'll get benefit through this. But if you're a single target hitter, you won't get benefit through this. So for example, if you're putting Lapis at the leader slot, you're not going to get this effect because Lapis is a single target single hit damage dealer. Alright, but if you're going for something like Elif or Mateo or let's say who else is multi-hit, like Iki for example, Sui Zai for example, they have multi-hit, then their second and third hit onwards will get extra true damage. Then if you are a tank, which is defender, so when you attack, then you will also do true damage based on 200% of your defense. For example, Wuyu, for example Sakura, or for example Nathaniel. All these kind of defender Esper will do additional true damage based on their defense. Then support will get extra 10 speed. Then after casting an ability, reduce all ability cooldown by 1 turn. So this is pretty similar with the Lushang's effect. But Lushang effect is more effective because Lushang effect speed can go higher while his support speed can only go to 10. It's a raw 10 speed. It's not percentage based. Then the next one, controller, which is what makes him so strong is a controller. So speed plus 10. Okay, raw speed as well. And then after casting ability, cast it 1 extra time. So whenever you are a controller, you cast any skill, no matter it's S1 or S2 or S3, you cast it again for free. So it's very strong, especially if your leader slot is actually a controller. So you actually do double cast damage here. So imagine your captain leader slot is actually a controller. For example, Tolan. So Tolan is a controller Esper, so if Tolan casts his S3, he can actually cast his S3 one more time. So he can double times 0 the enemy team. Alright, so there's actually a lot of things to actually play with the harmonic control, depends on your leader slot. Then the next one is Reso. Since he's a Wishstone Esper, you can actually get his Reso pretty easily. So what his Reso gives is your R1, your harmonic control gives 10 more additional speed for your controller and supporter. It's something good to have because it's min-maxing. So basically now your harmonic control, instead of just 10, it will give you 20. Alright, 20 is raw speed. Then your R2, at the start of the combat, you instantly give harmonic control to your leftmost teammate for 2 turns. So because originally you need to cast your S3 to apply the harmonic control. So what if your captain leader slot is actually faster? For example, Tolan. No way you want to build your Tolan slower than your Pindar, right? So with this R2 effect here, they'll instantly get harmonic control, so they can instantly get the effect. So for example, you're pairing with Tolan. Tolan is going to be the fastest in your team. Then he's going to cast this S3 twice instantly. Then for R4, if there's an ability on cooldown, he increased speed by 20. It doesn't really matter, but it's something for min-maxing. Then for R6 here, increase the ability damage share for the leftmost teammate by 90%. 90%, you know. And reduce the damage share by the caster 50%. So let's say you do 100k damage to your, let's say your leader is Sui Zai. 100k damage to Sui Zai, your Pindar here will help absorb 90% of it, so which is 90k, and then the damage share will reduce by 50%, which is 45k. So which means if you do 100k damage to Sui Zai, then Sui Zai will only get 10k. He himself will help get 90k and reduce half, so he'll get 45k damage. So basically, whoever you put at your leader slot, as long as you have Pindar, with R6 for example, you can kind of guarantee your captain leader Esper won't get one-shotted, which is very strong. So now in this case, imagine Pindar plus Sui Zai. Your Sui Zai is going to counter attack, your Sui Zai is going to trigger the fighter true damage, and then he will help your Sui Zai absorb 90% of the damage, your Sui Zai only get 10% of the damage, and Sui Zai have lifesteal. Something like that. So Pindar himself is going to be very interesting. I think his kit is very solid for PvE, very solid for PvP as well. Then Divinate makes him even better in PvP situation. So D3 here heals the Esper at the start of their turn. The Esper here relates to Pindar himself, so cause I already summoned his Divinate to give it a try. The Divinate here is healing himself, so cause Pindar will be helping absorbing the your Captain Esper damage, right? So he's gonna get a lot of damage. So and he doesn't have a heal in his kit. So the only way for you to heal is through his Divinate, or unless you have other healer. But with the Divinate here, as long as Pindar takes his turn, he will heal 50% instantly. and its max HP. You're gonna build your Pindar very high max HP anyway, and then your passive here gives all your team higher HP gap. So he's gonna be very strong, very meta as per in my opinion. It's totally very worth it, no matter what kind of situation. Okay, then this is Pindar, and now let me show you some of the showcase. Okay, so I'm going to try stuff one by one from fighter first. So fighter as per, I'm going to use Zihe for example. Then I'm going to max it to max level, everything. Because this is R0 Pindar, I'm going to use S3 to apply the harmonic control first. Okay, harmonic control. Okay, now let's take a look. Zihe instantly get a turn, then the harmonic control itself is a golden ring buff, so it will apply on Zihe, and all the blue buff, which is the attack up, defend up, and immunity, will turn to the stats boost instantly for Zihe. Alright, so now if I cast S1, because Zihe have 3 hits, and then the first hit will only do 1 damage, and then the second hit and third hit will do additional damage based on his attack. So we're gonna see the effect of the fighter. So the second hit onwards will do additional damage. So let's say this one, S1. So you'll notice that the second proc here, the true damage that the white color text here, is actually based on the extra true damage. Okay, you'll see even counter attack triggers as well. So as long as it is a S1 or it is a multi-hit, then it will trigger the extra true damage. So the more multi-hit you have, the more damage you're gonna do through the harmonic control. Okay, so now let's take a look at here. Fushi Defender. Pindar is gonna apply the harmonic control instantly. Let me fast forward it. Harmonic control, I get a bonus turn, I get attack up, defense up, and immunity through the buff. And then now with Defender, what I'm gonna get is when attack deals true damage to the attacker equal to 200% of the defense. So this what here, probably I misunderstood at the beginning of the video, is actually when you get hit. So it's a true damage reflection. It's not when you do damage. So if you take a look here, if my Fushi do damage, it will still be only one single proc. But when they attack me, you get another true damage proc of refraction. So you can think this of a Wu Yu passive. So you get a true damage proc, which is 15k 900. That is the proc itself. So what if I actually put in another Esper, which is going to be Wu Yu, because Wu Yu herself will apply additional effect for your defender to reflect damage. So the shockproof here, so if attacker hits the Esper who have shockproof, it will reflect a true damage of 100%. So it's going to be something similar than the Pindar's one, but Pindar's one is 200%. Alright, so now let's take a look here. But only the captain leader slot will get this effect, by the way. Okay, so now Fushi get this effect, so just let Fushi do some damage. Okay, all this true damage, the 4000 something, is from Wu Yu. But what if they actually attack on Fushi, then it will be another situation. So let's say S1. Okay, come on, someone attack Fushi. Nice. See, 2 procs of true damage. One is from Wu Yu's shockproof, one is from the Pindar's harmonic control. But this effect will instantly go off if the moment you no longer have the harmonic control, because harmonic control is only for 2 turns. Alright, so S1. Okay, Wu Yu breakdance. Okay, let's wait for a bit. S1. See, now if they attack me, it's only 1 proc of true damage, is because that's from the Wu Yu shockproof. We no longer have the harmonic control unless I reapply the harmonic control through my S3. So the S3 here is going to play a very important role if you want to maintain the buff. It's not going to be something like Lushang's Concentrated buff, it will always be there. You actually need Pindar to help you refresh the skill. Then the other one is going to be your supporter. So supporter is kind of something similar with the Lushang one. Basically it's just cooldown reduction by 1 turn. So let's say my Clara here have 4 turn. So if my Clara takes the skill, harmonic control, then my Clara casts the skill, instantly AP push, and I get a CD down proc. So now my Clara skill is only needed 2 turn to recast a S3. Basically that simple. But you can actually stack this effect with Lushang. Okay, but before that, let me show you the cooldown again. So same thing, Clara S3. So after that, it will be 2 turn, right? Because you instantly reduce the cooldown through Pindar. But now if my Clara take the action again, it will have a 2-turn cooldown here. Okay, so but if I go for Lushang, if I apply Lushang now, Lushang, so same thing, harmonic control, S3, so same thing now. Clara will have 2 turn, then Lushang just simply just do something, AP push. Now my Clara one will be at 1 turn. So Lushang's CD reduction will also apply through Pindar's effect. And not to mention, Pindar is also a supporter as well. It will also get benefit from Lushang by reducing his S3 cooldown, so he can re-spam his S3 more often. So Clara S1, then Lushang takes some action. Okay, then my Pindar reapply the harmonic control, and my Clara instantly S3 again. Do some damage here. Pindar S1, AP push Clara, then Clara will get S3 again at the next turn. Something like that. So it will be a very, very good thing. Then the next one is gonna be controller. So one of the most obvious or broken combo I would say is actually Tolan. So if I have Tolan here and I have Pindar, my Pindar will apply harmonic control to Tolan. Then my Tolan can cast S3 and S3 again. So harmonic control. Then Tolan gets a bonus turn. Then I S3, it will 0 hour 1 Esper. Then follow up with a pursuit, then reapply another S3 to another Esper. So you are actually 0 houring 2 Esper from the enemy because you cast your S3 twice. Okay, so this is how effective when you're doing a controller. So same thing, not just Tolan, as long as they are going as a controller role. So let's say I'm going with TA. Okay, harmonic control, then S3 and S3 again, double S3. So this is how it works with controller, and I think Pindar with controller will have the most effective in terms of effect, and it will be very strong with fighter as well, especially something like Zihe. Okay, so let's say if I actually have Tolan here, then if I apply someone like Nusi to help me CD reduction Tolan, it will be very interesting as well. Alright, harmonic control for my Tolan, S3, 0 hour again. Then when my Nusi take my turn, I CD reset Tolan, then AP push my Tolan, then my Tolan S3 again, then S3 again. So you can actually time 0 hour 4 Esper if you really want. Just something, I don't know if it's gonna be working like really be a very good combo or not, but it works. Okay, it can do something like this. Okay, then this is the thing, right? And then the other thing is, what if you actually do, which is pretty funny, we tried at the live server, we are putting Sienna with Astro set, and then we are doing with Lushang for further cooldown reduction. So this is what happens. Go now, my Pindar will apply harmonic control to Sienna. Then Sienna will double cast her skill because it's a Sienna is a supporter, right? And then Sienna will cooldown reduction her skill. And then because of the cooldown reduction here, we have Lushang to help cooldown reduction as well. So let's say harmonic control, S3, I get a bonus turn, I get a cooldown reduction, and then now my Sienna skill, S3 is only left 2 turn instead of 5 turn. Then I skill up again, then S1, harmonic control again, S3, S2, S3, S2. Okay, I don't want skill, S1. Okay, do something like this, then continue, S3, S2. Then harmonic control, pop up again, S3, S2. So we can do something like this funny and probably make a very good control team. Okay, just something fun to go for. I'm not sure if this is going to be like actual team in the end, but we can play something like this. It will, Pindar himself will actually enable a lot of different things. Then the other thing is, let's say if you're a controller, right? So let's say I'm putting Lucas, for example. You're going to double cast, right? So let's say I put Lucas. If I cast S3, S1 for example, I'm able to double cast the S1 because any kind of ability from controller is able to double cast the S1, but it won't apply through Assist or Avatar kind. It won't apply the double cast. So let's say I put Chuyao here, my Chuyao should be able to make my Lucas double cast, because it's assist, right? It should double cast the S1, but it won't. So Lucas S1, it will double cast, but the moment when my Chuyao force Lucas to assist, it won't trigger the harmonic control to double cast. So S1, it won't double cast the S1. Any form of assist or Avatara, you can only do it once, which means the effect from Pindar, it only triggers when you do it actively, because assist and pursuit kind, it won't let you trigger it twice. So this is something you want to know. Then the rest of the effect here is pretty much you already know. Then the other one I want to show you is a very good synergize with Meta Ira as well, because Meta Ira here is able to cast Meta Ira here, if we usually play her at Secondo, right? We didn't play her at Prima before. It's because she's being so squishy when she's at the Prima stage. Because at Secondo you have immunity block for 50 hit, but Prima here there's nothing to make you survive. So, but we're gonna know that Meta Ira S1 can actually do 5 hit with your max stack of cadence, and this 5 hit here will also get a passive through his her own passive to do extra true damage. And then with Pindar here, you can additional apply another true damage from your 2nd to 5th hit. Okay, so how it's gonna go is I'm gonna make a team to make your my whole team survive, and then keep spamming S1 to stack up for Meta Ira. So let's say something like this. So at the beginning, when I use Pindar to apply the buff, Meta Ira S1 will only trigger 1 true damage. Alright, S1. Alright, the true damage herself is from Meta Ira. It haven't triggered the other effect yet. So now I'm gonna spam S1. Meta Ira is on 4 stack. Now 5 stack. So with 5 stack of Meta Ira, she will do 1 hit and 1 true damage, and add additional 1 hit of the 2nd hit and trigger the Pindar damage. So let's see, it should have 4 proc or 5 proc. Yeah, 4 proc here. So 2 hit is from Meta Ira, 1 hit is from the passive, and then the other hit is from Pindar. So with this bonus effect, we can actually make a lot of combo, like just stacking up the cadence. Okay, let me stack up the cadence fast. Then you can actually proc a lot of damage proc. Alright, harmonic control, S1, it procs a lot of damage. S1 again, S1, it procs more. Okay, bubble up, S1. Okay, harmonic control. Now with Meta Ira with a max stack of cadence, she will do 5 hit. So every 5 hit here will do additional true damage, and then additional 5 hit of true damage through the Pindar S1. S1, proc. A lot of damage. So Pindar himself will make Meta Ira able to play Prima. And then the other thing why you are able to do that is because Pindar will share 50% of the damage from the main target, which is your Esper. So let's say I put Meta Ira here. If you actually get hit, okay, S1, let's see. She get hit, both of your Esper here are getting hit together. So let's take a look here. Both of you get the equal share because it's 50%. Imagine you make him to R6, then he can help you share 90% of the damage. Okay, so basically that's it for Pindar. He's gonna be a very strong Esper. This is just a basic concept how his skill work. We can actually make a lot of combo because of the flexibility of his skill. And then probably you'll be wondering how his skill affect in Desolate Land. So in Desolate Land here is based on the line. So it's similar with Meta Ira. As long as he's not at the leftmost, so let's say currently in my line here, it will apply the effect to Lapis instead of Feng Shun. Let's take a look. Okay, Pindar trigger S3. It will apply the buff to Lapis to get the harmonic control, because at that line Lapis is the leftmost Esper. So if I put it here, then Feng Shun will be the one who getting the harmonic control because it applies to Feng Shun. Okay, so it'll be something like this in terms of positioning. So as long as he's not at the captain leader slot, everything will be fine. Alright, so basically that's it. That's all the basic knowledge you're gonna know about Pindar. More detailed testing, or you want me to test what kind of combo, you can also let me know under the comment section, so I can make other video for a deeper video for you, for us to see what kind of synergize we can actually try with. It's gonna be very fun. He can actually combo with a lot of things. He's kind of like Lushang 2.0, but specifically for your captain leader slot. It's like Zihe plus Lushang combined to one Esper, and then only protect for one Esper. Alright, so this Esper itself will change the meta because your captain leader is going to be hardly able to die. So that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest tag. Thank you so much for Code Wilderness, Calamity, Acne, Love Fatima, Fatima Little Underwear, Bloods, Riku Fred, Chani. Thank you so much for your support.